Mid-South Sports Station.
We are Sports 56 WHBC Dallas and W253 FM Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Wolo.
Look up on the wall. There on the wall. Under the bottle. Behind the door.
Welcome in on a Monday after the very first Olympic weekend. Impressive. Between opening ceremonies, between the return of Simone Biles in a incredible way, overcoming injury again, to the USA men's basketball team off to a 10-2 deficit and turning around and being dominant against Jokic in Serbia. The women's soccer team has scored 7 goals in 2 games and given up 1. Swimming, well, it's always terrific. Even non-Olympic sports like tennis, interesting. I think Joker was on the verge of putting away Rafael Nadal today in the place that Rafael Nadal owns, Roland Garros in Paris. Even those things have been interesting for sure. 901 FC down several starters, beat San Antonio for the first time ever. This new goalie they got saved the day, literally. And today is the beginning of a new dawn at the University of Memphis. Ed Scott begins his job officially today. There is a luncheon I'm going to be involved with and get a chance and try to get Ed Scott on at some point this week to chat with us. And it is also opening day for the public at Audubon. Well, maybe not the public. It's a special thing today. Tomorrow might be opening day at Audubon. But opening day for many. Like our own Greg Gaston, I know, is playing in the event today. The unveiling of the new gem, the short course, and all 18 competitive holes. The very new Audubon will be seen for the first time today. So it is a really cool day. We've got a busy show as always. Medals coming your way in a minute. TJ Reeves will join us as always at 10:25. Ted Butler can't make it today, so we invited to get an update on what's going on at TPC Southwind. Joe Tomek, who's the FedEx St. Jude Classic Tournament Director, he will join us in our final segment. Opening ceremonies. I thought they were amazing. First time ever not in a stadium. It was definitely a program for TV. First time I think we've ever seen that because you didn't have everything in one place, right? So it's going down the river. The boats are going down. Different stages of that 3.5-mile stretch, they've got programs. They got Lady Gaga. They've got everybody. Of course, it ended with Celine Dion. I thought it was outstanding. There have been some people that have taken some shots, though, at NBC for the coverage of this. In particular, I think they like Mike Tirico. I think everybody's in love with Savannah and Hoda. That's part of the Today Show that's popular. But they have not cared for Peyton Manning and Kelly Clarkson. Personally, I thought they were okay. What did you think? Because they've gotten on social media, they've gotten panned a bit.
I haven't had a chance to sit down and listen.
You didn't watch the opening ceremonies?
I didn't see the opening ceremony. So I haven't got a chance to sit down and listen to what they said and how they kind of played off each other in that sense. But yeah, I know going into it, there's certain guys that I'm listening for. Listen for Mike Tirico. Listen for Dan Hicks. Listen for Rowdy Gaines. And
Hicks and Rowdy Gaines have been again outstanding on the swimming. The swimming's been great. Just great. I didn't give it any medals, but I probably will later. But it has been outstanding. I'm sorry. I did give it a medal. We had a 1-2 finish, and it actually gets a gold, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But you're right. Those two were great. There's not been any slippage of quality between the departure of Bob Costas, who was just outstanding in that role as host of the games for all those years, to Mike Tirico. There's no doubt he has done a terrific job. You know, Peyton Manning did a little spoof where he had all this stuff on an armband, but he did have a lot of information down there. And I thought Kelly Clarkson had a good line, like when she was talking about Celine Dion, she called her a vocal athlete. You know, after a performance. I mean, that was pretty amazing. We'll get into that in medals here in a little bit. But I thought for the most part, I've really enjoyed all the coverage. And I watched, because of my shoulder surgery, I can't really do a whole lot. So I watched every shot just about of the British Open. And I've watched a lot of the Olympic coverage, and it is kind of neat because between USA and NBC, you can see just about everything. And if you're really curious, like you want to go to the tennis, you can go to Peacock, and the streaming of the tennis is on there if it's not on one of the other two. So you have the opportunity to really watch just about anything that you want to, and that could be from ping pong, which I've watched, to the skate park, which I was amazed at how many people were there for the skateboarding. And you see these, 15-year-old kids from all over the world doing these crazy tricks on skateboards.
Yeah.
Just amazing stuff. Women's soccer, the whole schmear. It's really been terrific. And the men's basketball team, man, for a minute there, I was thinking, what? And Jason Tatum didn't see the floor yesterday. And Steve Kerr saying, I felt like an idiot, but he goes, look, that was the best way for us to match up with Serbia. It's a 40-minute game, and you can't really, in that short a game, you can't really play more than 10. And what they wanted to accomplish with their matchups, it just was better. Now that KD came back, who will get a medal from me, it was better to go that way than to use the guy who's been All-NBA for the last 3 years, right? Jason Tatum. Halliburton didn't play in that game either, but, everybody's an all-star that plays on this game. Everybody's a superstar that plays on this team.
Just about.
And if you can only play 10, what does Steve Kerr to do? He did explain it. He said, look, I felt like an idiot, but this is the reasoning behind all of it. I'm sitting in the Family Leisure Studios reminding you, today's July 29th, which means most likely in a couple of days, the summer party sale will be over. So I don't know if you'll be able to get 24-foot above ground pools for under $2,000. I don't know if you will be able to get the play gyms for $1,000 off for the 4-person spas for under $3,000. I don't know. So the best thing you could do is enjoy the next couple of days by heading to I-40 and Wooden Road and say you want to party at the sale. The summer party sale still going on at Family Leisure. Let's get to our precious medals. I got a lot. I mentioned opening ceremonies. Celine Dion. Zach, I don't know if that's in your genre. Do you have any appreciation for Celine Dion?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. Well, she's a master at what she does.
I only know one of her songs. That's the one off of Titanic.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she had the longest residency in the history of Vegas. She's a major star. But she's not been able to perform for 4 years. She has a rare disease that affected her larynx. It's a syndrome, and it's very, very rare. She's not had a public performance in 4 years, and her ending to the opening ceremonies, this beautiful, very difficult song to perform. She nailed it, prompting Kelly Clarkson to say she's a vocal athlete getting a gold. She gets a bronze for me for doing that. I got to give a bronze to Jonathan Vegas. Speaking of guys who also have been sort of injured. He has not won in 7 years on the PGA Tour. He's had back surgeries, all kinds of injuries, started a family. Everything changed in his life. He won for the 7th time, but there was, or maybe the 6th or 7th time, but there I'm going to say the fourth time. He won for the fourth time. But it took 7 years for him to do it. And he won in Minneapolis yesterday. The guy did not three-putt the whole tournament to win it. He got on a par 5 and 2, but he didn't have a really good shot. He was literally 96 feet away. Now, keep in mind, he had not three-putted the whole tournament. You got to go back another tournament before the last time he three-putted. It's a pretty astounding feat. 96 feet away, he gets within 3 feet 1 inches, pours it in to win. Congratulations to the oft-injured and now 4-time winner on the tour, Jonathan Vegas. I got 3 silvers. I'll start with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant had not played 5-on-5 basketball since April. He was incredible. First half, he was 8 of 8 with a couple of free throws made. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. He comes off the bench firing, and he helped to build the lead over Serbia. He was just amazing. And so is LeBron James. He gets my other silver. His leadership is amazing. He can turn it up a notch. I don't know how at 39 he can be as dominating as he can be. When he goes to the hole, you cannot stop him. He'll defend, he'll rebound, he'll do whatever it takes. And the USA basketball team was equal to the task. And I was thinking when they fell behind 10-2, can Steve Kerr really coach these guys? Is there something wrong going on here? Well, they answered in a major way. Yeah, Drew Holiday played well. I mean, you just talk about guys that just have decided to swallow their egos. Even Steph Curry. He's not the main option on this thing. Kevin Booker, not the main option on this thing. Whoever is really the hot guy, or if it's Durant now, maybe, or LeBron, they're going, we'll defer to you. It's just a thing of beauty to watch. And then, speaking of things of beauty to watch, Simone Biles gets injured right off the bat in a warm-up. Got to go back and get taped. Doesn't matter. Limping around, she still performs, leads the all-around despite that ankle injury. She's just amazing. She's executing these amazingly difficult things. The twisty's all gone now. I only give her silver because she's going to get a gold next week. I mean, come on. She's just the GOAT. She's unbelievable to watch. And then I'm going to give a gold medal to Tori Husk and Gretchen Walsh. They won the gold and the silver, 1-2 for the Americans in the 100-meter butterfly. Gretchen Walsh set the world record in the U.S. trials. So she was absolutely supposed to win this race. She lost it by 0.03 of a second to her teammate, Tori Husk. What did Tori, and by the way, Gretchen Walsh is from Nashville. What did Tori Husk do when they were on the platform? And Tori Husk, by the way, missed out on a medal 4 years ago in Tokyo by 1/100th of a second. She didn't get to the podium for 1/100th of a second. This time she beat Gretchen Walsh by 0.03 of a second, and she said to Gretchen, come up on this top podium with me for the anthem.
Yeah, I did see that.
That was a beautiful gesture. That was just incredible. I got to give a gold medal to the South Korean women archery team.
Ooh.
Do you know what they did?
No.
They won the gold medal in team archery for the women for the 10th straight time.
Oh.
That's 40 years they haven't lost.
You're accurate.
Is that incredible? No other team has ever won 10 straight gold medals in Olympics. Think about it. You got to be dominant over 40 years. South Korean women have done that. That's incredible. And then I got to give a gold medal to all the fans. I mentioned the skate park and how many people were there. Take a guess. And I don't mean to put you on the spot, but because it's so incredible, I would never have guessed this. How many fans per day fill all the venues? You count them, just count every venue and count up all the fans that go to the venues each day.
To the not the soccer, but the skate
Everything.
Everything?
Every swimming, soccer, basketball, which had 27,000. The skate park, everything.
Got to be a little over, if not just under 100,000.
700,000 fans.
Oh, well, I was definitely off.
700,000. That includes going to Tahiti for surfing. That's just amazing. And they haven't even started the track and field. That's the Paris fans. They get a gold medal for me. Your medals?
My medals, and I had to go look up Tahiti because I was like, where is Tahiti?
It's a long way from Paris.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you go, okay, like we couldn't find an island close to
It must have been a French property at one time, is all I can think.
the French Polynesia. I guess what they're calling it. Anyway, my medals, Dave. Couple bronze here. Obviously, I'm getting a bronze to the overall Olympics. We're finally in full swing of the Olympic Games. It's that time of the summer where you can just chant USA and be a proud American, or you could go and be a de facto Jamaican, or a de facto could be a South Sudanese if you want to be.
You can be.
So it's just showed, the perfect time to kind of show support for other countries that you wouldn't think about. They have athletes, so the Olympics get a B for me. Jonathan Vegas get a not a B but a bronze.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Vegas get a bronze as well, winning 3M Open. At one point, I thought Matt Kuchar was going to win that.
I did too. Or you know what? I never realized Maverick McNeely, who was in this thing, who's got all this power. So he had to make a choice. He was either going to play hockey or he was going to go to college. He went to college and he played golf because he was that good an athlete in both. And do you know how many golf tournaments he won while he was a player at Stanford?
Like 11?
11 tournaments.
Oh, that's a guess.
You're on the 11 tournaments. It's crazy.
So, yeah, shout out to Vegas for winning that.
And by the way, 66th in the FedEx points, so he's now, if he holds it, he could be coming to Memphis. We'll talk to Joe Tomek later about that.
Silver medals here. My silver medals are giving it to NFL quarterbacks. Why?
Yeah.
Because quarterbacks are still getting their money. Except for Dak Prescott. But they all getting their money.
Tua got it.
I think Jordan Love was the most recent one that got his deal done with the Packers. 4-year, $220 million extension. I'm just sitting here. I'm like SpongeBob. I don't know. The SpongeBob meme where he's sitting at the table with the coffee. The hot coffee going.
I know of SpongeBob. I've never really seen SpongeBob.
Okay, well,
but I know how popular it is.
Well, I'm like SpongeBob at the table, just patiently waiting on a Dak Prescott contract at some point, because I don't know.
Poor Cowboys,
then again, I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna get it this year or he's going to free agency, but I'm just waiting for him to get his money.
Well, poor Cowboys lost a defensive end.
Yeah. Such a Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones type of thing to do is expect players to step up, but then what if they get hurt?
He got hurt. I think it was just a drill when he got hurt. So that's non-contact. It's always the worst, and it is an ACL.
Yeah. Other silver medals. Shout out to Kevin Durant coming off the bench.
Unbelievable.
Shout out to Steph Curry. He held us together until we got into out of exhibition play, and then Captain America himself, like King James, man.
Yeah.
Like there was a play where LeBron got the ball in transition. Like it was off a steal. He got the ball in transition. It was like 3-on-2, and he said, okay, they collapsing on me, or they're leaving the shooters. They're going to the shooters. I said, okay, I'm gonna go to the paint. Came in, gave one guy a shoulder, then gave the other guy a shoulder, then laid it up, and then another guy comes flying in trying to block it from behind, lands on Braun, and then Serbia calls timeout, and Braun out of once he gets up, hears the whistle that it's a timeout, starts hitting his chest.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, that's the energy I need from this Team USA. That's the energy I need.
He was incredible. LeBron was amazing yesterday. You can't stop him going in. One guy did take a charge. That guy deserves the gold medal for courage. Are you going to stand in front of that dude?
No.
Not me. I'm not.
No.
I think Dwayne Wade said, I never stood in front of him.
No, like LeBron is still 6'9", 6'8", 240. Like at 39.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I think he weighs more than 240.
It's something, man. My other gold, Dave, and I feel like this is starting to become a trend here for you. If you've been aware.
Is this racing that you're going
yes,
to?
Yes, it is. See, you've been keeping up.
I keep up that you give medals to Formula One racing.
Yes, I do. I got to give one to Lewis Hamilton because he brought in his second win in 3 races.
Every week you give it to Lewis Hamilton.
Listen, man. There's nothing better than having a GOAT in Formula One out here doing what he's doing, man. So he ended up winning the Belgian Grand Prix. The Belgian Grand Prix. The Spa is the racetrack out in Belgium. A little bit of a controversy in this win. It's not with him, but it's with his teammate. But I say that for
his own teammate? Oh,
yeah.
You're going to say that for Rust.
I say that for my
Okay.
Rust.
So my Rust, I only got one. And it's to the Olympic organizers, and I've been so high on these games, right? I think opening ceremonies were terrific. The way they set it all up, the French really got that right. What they didn't get right was they used the Seine beautifully for the opening ceremonies, but it was also supposed to be used, and they spent $1.5 billion. That's $1.5 billion on cleaning up the Seine for the Olympic Games. First of all, the Seine is so beautiful. If you've ever been to France or to Paris, it's just incredible. And you would have thought that years ago they would have figured out, we got to keep this clean for our city, for all the tourism that we can get and everything else. Well, they hadn't, but they did it for the Olympic Games. But they got a problem with E. coli levels. And when it rains, even with the cleanup now, the levels get too high from the waters flooding over. And I don't really understand the whole ecology of it, but I get that they can't keep it clean enough to use. And even though the mayor took a swim for like 40 seconds earlier in the week, once the rains came after the opening ceremony, the levels were too high. They cannot use it like they were supposed to for the triathlon. So now they got to figure out a different place to use for the triathlon. Big problem.
Yes.
Seine River, not clean enough.
Should have came up with a backup plan because I was kind of get worried for the athletes myself.
Yeah.
Before the game started. My Rust. This is
Back to Lewis Hamilton.
All right, back to F1, Dave, because this is egregious on this end. So Lewis ended up winning the race. But his teammate George Russell went across the finish line first. He did a one stop, so he only pitted one time, and so I mean it was a great race for him. He did what he's supposed to do. But the thing is that there's a thing that's called regulations, Dave.
You got to pit more than once?
Say that
That's
again?
part of the deal?
So in F1 cars have to have a certain weight limit after the race. You have to meet that requirement. Like before a race, they weigh the cars. After the race, they weigh it again to meet the weight limit. And then once you complete that, then you move on. And he should have kept his trophy or whatever. Turns out they were 1.5 kilograms less than that weight target with their car.
Was that because they only filled up once with the pit?
Yeah, well, they're Mercedes claims that they didn't get enough rubber on the tires because he'd been on his tires for so long that the tread burnt off, and so that was the.
So he lost the race to his teammate because of weight limitations.
Yes.
Wow.
And so he was disqualified.
Man, that's
and so
tough.
He didn't get the trophy. The Mercedes team could have finished 1-2. It would have been. I mean, it's still great because they both had great races. Right now it's the halfway point of the season, so this is their summer break That's what they're calling it. And but instead of going into summer break with a 1-2, it's Lewis Hamilton at the top, and you could have avoided that if you just add a little bit more weight or
That's tough.
boxed George Russell for another set of tires.
That's tough.
But hey, that's not my call.
No.
Lewis is gonna be in Ferrari next season. You're gonna be seeing me in Ferrari red for the entire F1 season. So.
I know you love this. You love this F1 stuff. It's great. It's all brought to you by the good folks at Grind City Brewing. Grind City Brewing, just north of downtown. You get a great view of the city. You get a great view of the bridges. It's got picnic area with tables and umbrellas. It's got a stage for concerts or whatever. It's the perfect setting with the perfect product. If you love local beer, nothing better than Poppy's Pills. That's their number one seller. Then there's the Lager, the Thaddeus. There's the Belga if you like Blue Moon. They've got the craft malt liquor. That one is called Tiger Tail because they're big Tiger supporters. It's a taste of Memphis, and it's a great place for a concert or a party, whatever you want. The modern brewery right there, right on the river. You'll love it. It's Grind City. We take a break. When we come back to Tampa, we go. TJ Reeves is right around the corner.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
One of the key things that separates Genesis Diamonds from other jewelry stores is nobody's paid on commission. Vice President Nina Abraham says Genesis Diamond experts are never incentivized to get you to spend more or to buy something that's not in your budget.
Doesn't matter how much you spend. If you spend $500 or $50,000, the main focus is finding the perfect engagement ring or recent jewelry or sales tactics.
So when you walk into Genesis Diamonds, you can relax, take your time, get the education you deserve, and make a decision that's best for you, not the salesperson.
They can trust us. It's a huge, huge difference when you know that person is just going to focus on what I want, what I am looking for, not what they want to sell.
No pressure, no risk, no pricing games, no nonsense. At Genesis, it's about making you happy.
It's for life. It's a customer for life. It's a relationship for life.
Genesis Diamonds, a luxury pre-owned Lexus at Conrad Perkins Estate.
I'm Ina Abraham. My accent is always on value. Fabrice.
Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It's the big Christmas summer event in Gossett. Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the pipe. Yo, Rock and Ronnie, what you got going on?
I've got 2023 Jeep Renegade Latitude four-wheel drive, $26,095 for $388 a month.
That's a rockin' Jeep deal. What else you got, Ronnie?
Power up in a 2023 Dodge Charger SXT, $26,795 or $398 a month.
And Ronnie, I know you're in the big Christmas summer event. You gotta have an incredible Ram deal.
2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab four-wheel drive, $697 a month.
Rockin' Ronnie is rocking some deals today. So drive past the rest and up to the next at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Piker. Shop online at GossettMotorCars.net. Renegade Triple P 57256 MSRP 31095 Charger PH 636170 MSRP 37215 Ram RN 203232 MSRP 588 Price includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695. All exclude tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Dealer stock only.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a DC USA church located in town Memphis.
friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Wolo.
We had the Tampa momentarily. Our good friend TJ Reeves will join us. He's brought to you by Miramichi. Gosh, just bringing that up, I get all pouty. Can't play for 6 months. I'm just gonna have the shakes. I mean, can't play the back nine. That beautiful rolling hills, the stream, the waterfall, the competition level. Can't play it. Can't play the front, and I can't practice. Best practice grounds there are. Best reasonable prices, and it's close. 12 minutes just north of downtown if you're down there. 22 minutes from my driveway in East Memphis. It's in Woodstock. It's the most terrific golf experience you can have. Really great people that'll take care of you. Good food in the clubhouse. Miramichi, a true experience. The Sneds was just there. Used to have the Bubba. I'm just telling you. Competitive, beauty, fun. That's what Miramichi is all about. Let's head on to Tampa. The NFL camps have opened, including the Bucs, but I want to start with the Summer Olympics in Paris. Have you watched much of this, TJ? Your impressions?
I have been. Happy Monday. Zach, we should go gamble somewhere at one of the casinos in Mississippi or something. Did I not tell you off the air, Zach Boyd, he's going to be belly aching about his golf game because of his shoulder injury? Did I confirm, Zach? Did I not say that before I ever came on the segment? Can we confirm that?
You know me too well. That's all I can say. But can you blame me? I mean, can't play for 6 months. What would you do if you couldn't play for 6 months?
I was not aware that the new $6 million man bionic shoulder would have you laid up for 6 months.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be next week that you were going to be playing.
You're in a sling. You can't do a darn thing for 6 weeks, and then you kind of
you've got a great excuse now to get strokes. I mean, you've always needed to get some strokes.
Here's what I do.
And now you got a great excuse to get strokes. Walk around with a sling for 6 months.
Now I say moving up a tee box, baby.
Yeah.
There you go.
Whatever you need to do. By the way, shout out, I do have breaking news on Wolo and Friends. And he just notified me, coincidentally, like 10 minutes ago that they've gotten to Memphis. My buddy Joe Lisi from here in the Tampa Bay area, who is a retired, I kid you not, Wolo, nuclear engineer.
Wow.
He and his longtime significant other, Terry, have been on a journey all across the country in an RV, all through the Midwest, and they are now coming back southward, and they are currently in the River City as we speak.
Well, welcome
he texted
to
me
Memphis.
a few minutes ago.
How about that?
So he has informed me he's hitting BB King's without me.
Beautiful.
I believe they're going to hit the Rendezvous, which was my recommendation previously. He's been there, and they're going to do that without me. So we may not be on speaking terms when he gets back, but at least for right now, shout out to Joe and Terry, who are listening right now, I am told, on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
So he's downtown.
Cheers. We'll see you when you get back.
So he's downtown. How long is he here for? Because
apparently, I don't know if he's doing all of this in 24 hours. He's at least there today. I don't know if he's there tomorrow.
Right above BB King's, obviously, is Itabina. That's a really fine dining place. And then across the street,
you had me go and try that at one point. Previously,
and then
all these different places.
Blues City, with the ribs and the tamales.
Right down from the Forum. I'm with you. Yeah. They're going to partake in all of that stuff. But they've been going to baseball stadiums, to landmarks, to all kinds of things. Going to games. Went to Wrigley, by the way.
Beautiful.
Have been to Target Field in Minneapolis, have been to Comerica Park in Detroit. I don't know if they hit the new Busch Stadium in St. Louis on the way back down, but they are in Memphis as we speak, so I just thought I would digress and give them a shout-out because they're there now.
Great. All right. What did you think of opening ceremonies? Well, Peyton Manning, and you usually are a critic. You critique. Peyton Manning, Kelly Clarkson, they've been panned. I didn't think they were so bad.
I thought it was fine. I mean, I understand the controversy that's going on. The only thing I will say about that is if there had been something pro-religion on there, as opposed to what was on there with drag queens and the Lord's Supper, if there had been something, if there had been something pro-Jesus and pro-religion, oh my God, would we have lost our minds as the rest of the globe? But I digress on that. Wet opening ceremonies. Interesting, different, because they didn't go into a stadium. They
Right.
did it on the boats. I love when they were interviewing Joel Embiid live, and he basically said, "I just want to get out of here and go get something to eat." There's some honesty
Yeah, right.
at all of that. And speaking of that, you said at the top, the USA basketball team were intrigued. Look, we're intrigued by a lot of this stuff. The gymnastics with Simone Biles and the swimming, and what can Katie Ledecky do with the rest of the Americans, and then we bring it to basketball. And this team looked vulnerable in the exhibition games. But I don't know about you, but that was pretty well a statement game yesterday.
Well,
at least
they looked
for
vulnerable.
whatever it's worth. That hey, rumors of us being an easy out here in the Olympics and not winning the gold may be slightly exaggerated.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, they looked vulnerable exhibition season. They looked vulnerable when they fell behind 10-2. But then Magic.
That was early.
Yeah, and then Magic.
That was early.
They really played well together.
Then they're up 20 in the second half on cruise control.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was fascinating in that spot, and they probably are going to have a close call game because these other countries, this just into the newsroom, have national teams with NBA players, European ones, Spain in particular, but also that Serbian team had Jokic on it. The German team is good.
That team, by the way, that Serbian team had Bogdanovic too. It also had finished without Joker. It finished second at the Worlds last year, so it is a really good team. Here's the great comparison. I'm an old guy, right? I mean, I'm honest about it. Nobody's going to beat the '92 Dream Team in my mind.
Amen.
Nobody beats Michael Jordan. Not even LeBron, but he's making a great case for himself.
There's like 10 or 11 guys off that team that are in the Hall of Fame,
right?
Including the all-timers of Bird, who was way past his prime and unable to play. But Magic, remember this. I was talking to my wife about this while we were watching it. We have to go in the way back, and I know this probably predates Zach being on the planet for the millennials, the Gen Zers, the under 30-year-olds. Magic Johnson had to retire that previous November because of the HIV diagnosis in 1991, but he was allowed to play in the All-Star game in February because they voted for him, and then he played in the Summer Olympics in July, August of 92. And so to have Magic and to have Jordan and Barkley and Pippen and Ewing and Drexler and just keep going down the list of all those amazing players, because in that time the ridicule was, well, the world has caught up to USA basketball. And they left out the one key part of that. They had caught up to U.S. amateur under 22-year-old basketball.
Right.
They had not, Wolo, as we know, caught up to those guys.
No, they had not
in
'92. But here's
that.
the point I was trying to make, because you're doing it for me right here. In '92, there were a total of 7 or 9, one of those two, single digits, NBA players that played on other teams in the competition. Okay. Now that number in this day and age is in the upper 60s. So there's enough players worldwide that play in the NBA that are on these other teams. Look at the Canadian team. A guy like Dylan Brooks is not even starting.
Correct.
You're talking about really good talent all over the world. So it's much harder. So you don't expect a kind of performance like you got from that 92 team. It's impossible because the other competition is that much better.
Well, the classic thing from that is the very first game, too, with Angola, where Charles Barkley dunked over the two guys, and they were laughing and high-five. One of them was high-fiving him back down the floor, and they wanted their picture made afterwards because they were that big of stars. And so now you've got, obviously, amazing all-time players like LeBron James, like Steph Curry, like Kevin Durant on this team, and why do I get the feeling they're going to be just fine off the basis of what we saw? And I know we were briefly talking yesterday. You were into it with the U.S. women's soccer team.
Yeah.
We've long given up on the men's team having any hope of doing anything, whether it's the national team in the World Cup or in this case for the men, it's under 22, either under 23 or under 20. We don't ever do anything in the men. The women is far more intriguing, and they look fantastic.
Well, that's
yesterday.
because I don't understand why they made that rule on the men. I mean, why can't you bring your World Cup team there? I don't
because
get.
I guess if FIFA wants the best of the best to play in the World Cup and their events,
Right.
and the IOC
I get
has tried
that.
to open it up to the younger players on the men. I guess that's the argument. I don't know.
Well, the women don't do that. It's the best the Americans
Correct.
have, and they've scored 7 goals and given up 1. And Germany's a good team, so that was pretty impressive yesterday. The men did win a game, but they lost 3-0 to the home country.
To France.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll hold out some hope for them, but I don't understand that at all. All right, before I run out of time, the the NFL training camps have opened.
Yes.
That means the Bucks have opened. I know the Titans will talk to Mike Keith tomorrow. They had like a fan day where everybody was in the stadium and could watch these guys. Your favorite storyline overall, NFL going in, and do you think that we will pretty soon have an 18-game regular season as opposed to the 17?
So I was out at Buccaneer training camp yesterday, as they've been underway now for about 4 or 5 days. Today was their first full day in pads. Baker Mayfield back, Mike Evans back. A lot of optimism. The one difference, and we'll talk about this repeatedly as the NFL season gets closer and gets underway, is they have expectations on them that they didn't have a year ago. So that's interesting. Can Mahomes and company do the three-peat thing, which has been almost impossible? I don't believe there has been a three-peat in the Super Bowl era. You got to go back to like Lombardi's Packers. I don't think anybody, off the top of my head, New England won all of those, didn't win 3 in a row. The Broncos won back-to-back. The Cowboys won a back-to-back. The Steelers won 4 in 6 years.
What about Bill Walsh's Niners?
They did not win 3. They won back-to-back at 88 and 89. That's the 2 they won back-to, but nobody won 3. So that's probably the overarching storyline. And where are we headed with the money, by the way, when the quarterbacks are making $45 million a year? I mean, the offensive linemen now, because the Bucs are trying to re-sign their left tackle, the offensive left tackles are making $27 million a year. It tells you how much money's in the game. And to answer your question,
the money is great. Look at a basketball. Look at Jason Tatum, who couldn't get in yesterday, making $60 million a year.
And to answer your question, yes, they're headed soon to an 18th game for a lot of reasons. One of them is this Sunday ticket judgment may necessitate they need to have more games and have a different TV contract and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, the money is ridiculous that's now in professional sports and in the NFL, so that's another storyline. Aaron Rodgers back with the Jets. What will they look like? Jim Harbaugh back in the NFL. Will he implode? I mean, you got a lot of fascinating things that we're going to take a look at.
Thank you, my friend, as always. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Always good to be with you. Happy Sunday, summer. And good luck with the shoulder.
Thank you.
And we march on from there.
You got it. That's TJ Reeves. He's brought to you in part by the Eflin Insurance Team, another big Tiger supporter. Actually, in his phone number, he's got GUR. That's how much they love the University of Memphis. And they're a little different in their approach to the way they work insurance. It is. It's collaborative. They're going to get to know you and your family. How many in your family? What's important? What's your budget? And then they find the perfect insurance to protect your car, your home, and your future with life insurance. They do the same thing with small to mid-sized businesses. That's their specialty. They're going to find out about you, your product, your employees, forecast you out a little bit, what's your budget, and then they find the perfect commercial insurance for you. It's simple. You want to get protected the right way, the collaborative way, where people get to know you? Contact the Eflin Insurance Team. Back in a minute. When we return, we'll head to TPC Southwind. Joe Tomek standing by. We'll find out what's going on with the FedEx St. Jude Classic.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes? with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
Jenkins Floors and More invite you to their retail warehouse where they pass wholesale savings on to you. Jenkins Floors in Little Rock, Cleveland, Mississippi, and now open in Horn Lake at 2356 West Goodman Road. Specializing in flooring and carpeting, tile, plantation shutters, and blinds, Jenkins makes your life easy with a 2-week turnaround. Contractors, builders, or family projects, call 662-469-9350 for a free estimate. Owners Timmy and Rebecca Jenkins say hello to Sports 56 fans and look forward to your business.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy, so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Are you ready to ride? Well, we got it covered at Gossett Kia on the bike. Get 41 MPG Highway and 2024 Kia Forte LXS. $199 a month, $37.99 to assign it. 2024 Kia Sportage, $279 a month, $34.99 to assign it. Or how about a 2024 Kia EV9 Lite with 0% APR available for 48 months? Or get 304 EPA estimated range for $389 a month, $49.99 to assigning. All 24-month lease. Plus Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
650 acquisition fee, $20,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE 794,066, MSRP 21,820. Sportage R73 161.97, MSRP 28,865. EV9 R60 29,603, MSRP 61,035. Includes all rebates and incentives and PF 695. Includes tax, title, license, registration, and fees. Must finance through Hyundai with approved credit valid through 7/31/24. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
All we hear is Radio Gaga, Radio Gaga.
All right, let's head to TPC Southwind. Joe Tumek, tournament director of the FESJI, joins us now. What's going on, Joe? What are we? A few weeks away? What's the count? I know you know to the minute what it is, so tell me.
Oh, man. We're under 20 days at this point, Wolo. How you doing, bud?
20 days. That's amazing. I'm doing well. I can't wait, as always. I'm just overlooking here the standings, and I was looking at who is on that cut line. And there's really just about, I mean, Lucas Glover, who's the defending champ, he's 5 spots away, so that would be a miss. Ricky Fowler's not in there, Kuchar's not in there, but otherwise, there's every big name, including some big ones like the kid who's come on, Nick Dunlap. There's so many great players that are going to be in town in just 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think, 2 years ago when we made the change, 125 down to 70, there were certainly some fears of would that leave some marquee players out? Would that leave some up-and-comers out? I think you're seeing that playing out in the right way. You get a good mix of the star power at the top. You also get a good mix of some newcomers, like you mentioned, Nick Dunlap having a win earlier this year, who's making his way in there. And just yesterday, you saw Johnny Vegas play his way from 150th or whatever he was into the top 70. So you play well, and you can make your way into the top 70, which is a good thing. Here's what I'm not smart enough to figure out. If Jonathan Vegas doesn't play another tournament, he's at 66 with that win. Is he in? Does he have to compete again? He's probably not safe. He's probably going to want a few more points in 2 weeks' time or I guess this upcoming week to make sure he gets here. Scotty Scheffler 1, Xander number 2, Rory 3, Colin Morikawa 4, Wyndham Clark, who's struggling a little bit, number 5. I can't wait to see Oberg. All these guys, everybody's coming, right? There's nobody that's going to go, I'm injured, or I'll try to sit out for the second round. You got to come, don't you? Yeah. Going to the days of being able to skip. Scotty's going to be at East Lake. There's nothing he can do between now and then that will prevent him from qualifying for the top 30. But he wants to stay number 1 because that's the difference between a couple-stroke lead teeing off Thursday morning at East Lake. So every position matters in this new staggered start when it comes to the finale. So they're all going to be here. They're all going to be competing, and they're all going to try to win.
Are we going to see many different things? I know there was a hint you're going to do something different at 14. The long par 3 with water everywhere. What other new sights and scenes will we see for this version of the playoffs?
Yeah, the bluff at 14, that's our new shiny toy this year, and we're really excited about it. 14, as you said, long par 3, a lot of water. It is the last par 3 on the course. It is also really that stretch of, are you going to win this thing or are you going to lose it? 14, 15, 16 are really a tough finishing stretch there. So we wanted to build out a space where the general public can really congregate, gather, and kind of make some noise. When the players are crossing the physical road going from 13 to 14, stepping up on that tee box, we want them to feel a little nervous. This is where the thing's on the line. So in partnership with FedEx, we really built out 14th hole. We have a dock along the right of the water, so you can actually stand out over the water looking across to the green. FedEx will be doing some cool giveaways each and every day for the first couple hundred fans that make their way out there. It'll be a pretty cool environment and hopefully the start for something pretty special to come.
Would the goal be to try to make that like total stadium surrounded like Phoenix?
We're not going to say Phoenix. That that gives me some heart palpitations if we go that far. But somewhere to have fun. This event should be for everyone and not necessarily something that is. You don't always need to be quiet. I think that's a big misconception in the sport of golf, is that you need to be quiet the entire time out there. You can cheer. You can give the groans if they hit in the water. You can get really loud when they hit it close. When they make a birdie, they deserve to hear those cheers. So 14 is somewhere where we felt is kind of a natural amphitheater. There's a lot of shade out there that we're going to take advantage of. There's some natural slope. So it's a natural space to really fill in that bowl, if you will. And so we're excited to see how big we can make it.
Anything else new that we will be able to look upon?
Yeah, the good news is that really we're finally in a year of consistency. It's the same event name, it's the same format, same field size, all of that sort of stuff is the same, which is funny because we can't really say that for the last 6 years.
Right.
So we're really just building on that consistency. The 70-player field, the no cut all 4 days. Now it's just kind of reminding people that, hey, this is a great event whether you're a golf fan or not. There's some really good local food out there that you can come check out. Kids getting free. If you're 15 and under, all you need is to come with a ticketed adult and you get in completely free of charge. Some of those things that we want to make sure people understand and are reminded of as they think about what their summer plans might be.
And I'm also guessing that you're set with this for a while. The Olympics didn't change much, did they? Is it a little earlier next year, or what's the story on that?
Yeah, we're probably 2 or 3 weeks away from the 25 schedule getting officially released, but we will go back up 1 week to where we were last year. So we are 1 week later with the Olympics going on this week in Paris. We paused to allow our players to go compete, which put the Tour Championship during Labor Day weekend, and our preference is to end the season the week before that. So you'll see the playoffs shift back up 1 week next year for 2025.
The golf course is going to be what are they going to do differently? I know it's closing to the members I guess as soon as this is over, 9 holes and then all 18 come wintertime. Tell me the plan for Southwind and this tournament.
Yeah, TPC Southwind is going to do a complete not renovation, mostly a replacement of all 18 greens. So the greens themselves here have been regrassed, but they have not been completely redone since '89 when it was first played here.
You're kidding. 89?
Yeah, about due, and you can see that in some of the slopes coming off the green, the runoff areas, some of the encroachment that's happening around the actual collars of the green themselves. So it's really just freshening those up. There's really no redesign element. It's just a restoring back to what they were originally designed to be in '89.
And then I don't know where I heard this. Somebody said there was going to be one point you might end up being the championship, but this is going to remain the opening of the playoffs for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, we're where we want to be. You asked what I would want. I'd want to stay as the opening event of the FedEx Cup playoffs with the 70 best players in the world. 30 is a small number of players, and East Lake is uniquely built to host that, and I think it makes sense for that property. It is the quote-unquote FedEx Cup, so certainly they would love to host the season finale in their backyard, but we all collectively agree that this course, this city, this market all makes the most sense to be sort of the celebration and kickoff of what is really the hardest three-week stretch in golf.
And I know Sports 56, myself included, will be out there on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Wednesday is the Pro-Am. And there's another Pro-Am. Is it Thursday that St. Jude does one at Spring Creek?
Yep, St. Jude does their Celebrity Am out at Spring Creek on Thursday, and then whatever athletes, celebrities, TV personalities they're able to bring into town for Thursday, they bring out to the golf course on Friday. So hoping to have some announcements both for Wednesday Pro-Am as well as the Friday St. Jude here soon. But always encourage people to come out on Wednesday. It's your lowest ticket price. Parking's completely free on site, and so it's a good day to check out some practice rounds. A little more relaxed.
And you're still doing the players playing 9 holes, correct? Each group gets front 9 and back 9 different guy.
Correct. Players have really loved that. I think guests have really enjoyed that. There's less commitment from the players, so they're more interactive. And you get to play with 2 players instead of 1. So it's been a great test that we've implemented fully now.
Can't wait for all of that, Joe. We'll see you Wednesday out there at the Hub. Appreciate you, and I hope you get a little sleep between now and then.
We'll see about that last one, but as always, Dave, enjoyed talking to you, and see you out here soon, bud.
You got it. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate you. That is Joe Tomac. He's tournament director of the FedEx St. Jude Invitational. I keep wanting to say classic. It's the Invitational because it's the playoffs, the opening round of the playoffs. This final portion of the show has been brought to you by the Spirit Shop. That's Eddie Connor's place right there, Poplar in St. Nick. I love going in there because I know when I walk in there, he's going to give me an education. I'm going to find out exactly what is the best bargain I can get, or I'm going to learn about what makes a rare bourbon rare and how they price it. And he's got the fairest prices around. I'm going to find out what's the next up-and-coming great wine, and I'm going to get that at a good price. It's great service every time and so beautifully located. The Spirit Shop is right at 4848 Poplar Avenue. That's Poplar in St. Nick. That is absolutely in the heart of East Memphis, right down from Clark Tower. You've passed it by a million times. Little log cabin, not so little inside. You'll be impressed with all of the stock and all the education you get when you go see Eddie at the Spirit Shop. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll have Mike Keith, usual Tuesday, coming your way. Johnny Radio is right around the corner. Have a great day, everybody.